RC racing first started in the late 60s and early 70s by companies such as Toyama and Team Associated or Associated Electronics. These cars were powered by electric motors and eventually by nitro motors that run on nitromethane. Throughout the 70s, companies began to come up with new ideas and designs for these cars, yet there was still a very limited market for them to sell to. These cars were all designed to run on smooth on-road tracks due to the lack of suspension and the ability to hold up on the rigors of an off-road track. Yet in 1979, the first suspension system was built and allowed a whole new off-road market to open up for these young RC companies. It is also important to note that these early cars were not made specifically for racing and were not built on performance. This all changed in 1984 when Associated Electronics released the RC-10 electric buggy that specifically focused on high performance. Several other companies followed the lead paved by Associated Electronics. The first large electronic off-road race is then held in Sonoma, California in 1985. Popularity and the number of people participating in the event increased again in the early 90s when many on-road and off-road racing tracks were built across the country. In the 2000s, cars became faster and more powerful than ever. Rock climbing for these machines is then started in 2007, causing the industry to grow even larger. Today, it is now a very successful sport with races held in cities nearly every weekend.
Here with professional remote control car racer Jason Branham. First question, what is your favorite thing about racing RC cars?
I think my favorite thing is the competition of racing, and also just hanging out with the people that that race with me that enjoy the same thing.
That's cool. All right, we're here with Courtney Tate, professional RC mechanic.
Yes, we are.
What makes you a professional RC mechanic?
Jesus says so.
All right, Jesus said so. I'm here with professional RC racer and company owner David Jor. I wanted to ask you, could you tell me a little bit about your company?
Sure. Well, I started this company about 10 years ago, and I borrowed $700 from my mom, and I paid her back in double in about 2 weeks. I was starting with ball bearings, and the reason why I went with ball bearings is because the bearings that we were getting in our industry at the time were $7 a piece, and you weren't sure if they were going to blow up, if you were to even make a main. And so I found out that the bearings that we were using weren't RC specific for our industry, and that they were being made for dental, all kinds of things. So it turns out bearings aren't very expensive. So I released a bearing company that was cheaper, and it lasted a lot longer, and it's a good way to start things out.
That's cool. How do you prepare for race day?
I go through my cars, just make sure everything's cleaned up, bearings are rolling, and fresh oils in the cars, and make sure everything's ready to go when I hit the track, so that hopefully there's not a lot of work to be done during the race time.
Right. What do you eat on race day?
A BC powder and a crystallite pack.
What is the most important type of sponsor to have in your opinion?
Well, one that appreciates you. That's probably the most important. It doesn't matter who it is. There's a lot of people on teams, and the sponsors just don't care about it.
Right.
They're just an important customer to them. They make money, so it's no big deal. Now, that aside, I'd probably say in this industry, tire sponsor is probably the most important. It's so expensive for a set of tires, and we can go through one set in one run here, and that's about $60. And it's some people say, oh, that's a real expensive hobby. It is, but it's also not as expensive as racing real cars, but still, I'd say that probably the tire sponsor is the best.
All right, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Why don't you race a car? Why are you just a mechanic?
Not very good at racing.
All right, and then what is X-Ray USA here?
It is a tire company.
All right,
They make tires.
Thank you, Courtney. How do you choose tires?
I choose tires by the amount of grip that a track's, offering, and then, just how comfortable my car feels on certain types of compounds of rubber.
All right, well, that's good. Thank you very much, Jason.
You're welcome.
What do you know about remote control cars?
They're very fast.
All right.
That's about all I know.
Cool. If you were going to buy one, where would you go?
Hobby Lobby.
Hobby Lobby. All right, thank you. All right, so Simpson, what do you know about remote control cars?
Not a whole lot. I hear that it's pretty exciting though.
Oh, that's good. Where would you buy one?
I don't know what to do with mine.
Thumbs down. Thumbs down. where would you buy a remote control car?
The first place I would look would probably be the internet, since everything's on the internet. So if I can't find it there, maybe Walmart.
All right, sounds like a plan. Thank you.
Remote control car events last from 1 day to 5 days. They are normally either on-road or off-road with varying classes based on the event. At some events, finishing positions are used from multiple different races to decide an overall series winner. At the biggest events, such as the IFMAR World's Drivers, have a chance to be crowned world champions and have their bragging rights for the rest of their lives.
All right, we're talking about sponsorships. RC sponsorships are a little bit different than what you see on TV, like NASCAR guys. I mean, NASCAR guys, you know, they've got all these sponsors. They get out of the car, they put on a different hat, a different sponsor. It's all over TV and everything. In RC, we're getting there, but it's not nearly as quickly. So basically, I'm sponsored by multiple different companies. I've about 7 in total. And what I do for them, what I provide for them, and what they provide for me is that I go to races and I don't always win, but I do well. I try to represent the company. And then, if anyone has a question, then I go and I help them out and make sure that they have everything that they need and that they can be successful. Because, what's important is that you're helping other people. You're showing that you're a driver that helps others and that they want to be like you in the end, and so they'll buy the products that you run. And obviously, if somebody comes up to me and asks me what I run, I'll make sure that they know that the products that I drive for, the companies that I drive for, are the best products overall, and that's what they're going to want to use if they ever decide to switch.